everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Hannah Rose and you're watching Home with Hannah. In today's Motivational Monday video, I wanted to share with you some of my favorite books that have really inspired me. So the books that I'm going to be sharing with you, they've inspired me, and they're books that I've learned something from. I love nonfiction, self-development style books. I do read novels, I love my fiction novels, but I'm always trying to read a self-development book alongside reading, my fun fiction books. I love reading, and I kind of wanted to start sharing this on my channel. A big passion of mine, especially this year, and one of my main goals was to read, and it's become a passion of mine because I'm learning so much from reading. I want to start sharing with you some books that I read, and I thought I would start this on my channel with a Motivational Monday video where I share books that have inspired me and motivated me, and books that I've really got something from. I feel like you can learn so much from reading. When I learn new things, I'm able to share them with you guys. So reading is obviously an important part of my daily routine, and I try and read at least 20-30 minutes a day. I always read before bed, and I read throughout the day when I can, and sometimes a little bit in the morning. So yeah, it's a big part of my life, so I wanted to start sharing it on my channel, and I thought I would also start sharing with you the books that I've read throughout the month and kind of do like a wrap up every month of what I've read. So let's get straight into the video where I share with you the books that have inspired me and that I love, and I think if you pick up these books, they will really help to motivate you. Right, so the first book I actually don't have a physical copy of. I used to. I read this book in my first year of university, which was about 5 years ago, maybe over 5 years ago now. It was one of the first self-development books that I ever read, and I loved it, and that was the point where I realized this is the type of book that I really love to read. So the book is called Lean In, and it's by Sheryl Sandberg. She's the COO of Facebook, I believe, and yeah, she wrote this book and I loved it, and it was called Lean In, and it's all about kind of women empowerment and how women can do just as well as men in their careers. And it was kind of that motivating book that I needed at that point in my life. I was in my first year of university, and I was like, wow, yeah, I can do this. So because I don't have the physical copy with me, I just thought I'd read a little bit off of Amazon. They've got like the back cover, what it says at the back, and it says, in Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg, Facebook COO and one of Fortune magazine's most powerful women in business, draws on her own experience of working in some of the world's most successful businesses and looks at what women can do to help themselves and make the small changes in their life that can affect change on a more universal scale. And I just thought that book was great for women to read, just to make you realize that you can climb to the top of that ladder, and you've just got to put in the work and put in the effort, but you can help yourself and you can get yourself to that point if you just work hard and believe in yourself. And don't say sorry for being a girl, Don't let people walk all over you, and don't let people say, oh, well, you're a woman, so you can't do that. So yeah, I loved the book Lean In. I thought it was just empowering for women, and I would recommend it for all women out there to read. I think it's a great start to your self-development journey. So yeah, the next book that I wanted to talk about is actually one of my favorite books, and it's one of the first books that I read this year. I started the year off with reading Michelle Obama's book called Becoming, and I thought that was amazing. And then I read, this was the second book that I read this year, and it's called The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael A. Singer. And it's actually funny, I had this book as one of the books that I wanted to read at the beginning of this year. I had it on my birthday list because my birthday's in January, and I was listening to a podcast with Tony Robbins and his wife, and they were talking all about this book that he wrote, and they were going in depth about the chapters and everything. And I was walking home while I was listening to this, and I was thinking, gosh, I really need to read this book now. Tony Robbins loves it, and he's bought it for everyone that he loves, and he thinks it's an amazing book, and so does his wife. And so I was like, oh, I really need to read this now. And Oprah's Super Soul Conversations, her podcast, she talked to Michael A. Singer, and they discussed this book as well. And with The Untethered Soul, I'd really recommend it for you because it goes in depth about your journey with yourself, with your mind and your consciousness. And the reason I feel like this book was really inspiring for me was because it made me realize that you know, if you hold on to all this negativity, you're not going to be able to open the doors to amazing opportunities. You're just going to be stuck, and whatever you put out there, you're going to get back. So if you're negative all the time, you're only going to get that back. I thought this was a really interesting read, and it's a book that I'd probably reread again. I've got a few little sticky tabs here, and I underlined a lot in this book. And one of the things, like I've just said, he says in here, anything you put out comes back. And he also says a lot in this book. He says, you're sitting on a planet, spinning around in the middle of absolutely nowhere. You're floating in empty space in a universe that goes on forever. And I just thought that was like such an interesting comment. So yeah, if you're looking for a book that really goes into depth about your mind and emotions and being able to be aware of your thoughts, this is an amazing book, and I couldn't recommend this book enough. I loved it. Moving on, another book that has been life-changing is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. I loved this book because it really makes you think about the way you clean, and it gives you a new perspective of cleaning and organizing. And I just loved her method of taking everything out of like your closet, out of your pantry, whatever, and holding on to each object and going, right, does this spark joy? If it sparks joy, keep it, organize it. If it doesn't, give it away. So yeah, I thought that was just a really interesting, simple but effective way of being able to declutter your home. And I have used it. I'm not exactly a minimalist. I love having my things that inspire me all around me. So I love my books and clothing and everything, but I have decluttered my wardrobe and my things around my home, and I have used this method as inspiration for that. So this has definitely had a big impact on my life. And her Netflix series is also very motivating. I love her personality. I think she's so cute and lovely. So yeah, check out her Netflix series and also try reading the book. It's really good, and it just makes you think about new ways that you could organize your home. Moving on to the next book, it's actually a book that I recently finished. It's a book that I read this year, and it's You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Yeah, Jen Sincero. And I loved this book. I thought this was like the ultimate self-help book. If you're looking for a self-help book and you're a girl, I think this is very, very inspiring. I mean, obviously boys can read these books too, but a lot of them are very much aimed at girls, I think. But yeah, I loved this book. I thought this was amazing. I ended up folding a lot of pages that I found really inspiring. What I loved about this book, it was kind of split into bite-sized lessons, and there was different parts to the book. If you can see, I don't know with the light. There was different parts in the book, and each chapter started with a quote, which I loved. I loved being able to read the quote, get inspiration, and then read the rest of the chapter, and I just thought it was amazing. And it says on the back, by the end of You Are a Badass, you'll understand why you are how you are, how to love what you can't change, how to change what you don't love, and how to use the force to kick some serious ass. And it just makes you want to just get things done now. You know, why wait, you know? And there's also a lot of law of attraction stuff in here, so if you are interested in the law of attraction like I am, there are some references on how you can manifest your best life. So yeah, try reading You Are a Badass. It's really inspirational, it gets you really motivated, and like I said, it's the ultimate self-help book. So yeah. Right, so the next book that I'm going to be talking about is one of the first law of attraction books that I ever read. I knew about the law of attraction and I'd heard about this book years ago, but I started getting into reading this book this year, and it's The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I believe it's Rhonda Byrne, and yeah, I love this. I still like flip through it and reread different sections, and I think it's really great. It kind of explains the law of attraction, and I love the little stories that the teachers in this book talk about, and it makes you think about your outlook in life and how like you can change your mood so easily just by having a really good positive outlook on life, and how if you do have that positive outlook, you're gonna get positive things in return, and you can manifest whatever you want. in your life, and I think that's just so magical, and it's a nice way to think about life, just to think about how if you put in the hard work, you know, you're gonna get that in return, and if you're positive and you believe in yourself, you are going to achieve whatever you put your mind to. I think that's so motivational. So I would recommend checking out The Law of Attraction and reading the book The Secret, and it just really gets you motivated and it makes you really believe in yourself. So I think that's really important. Right, so I'm getting to the last few books now, and the next book is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Now this book, I feel like it was really inspirational. It really got me motivated to be creative and do the things that make me really happy. And that's what I'm all about on this channel. My main purpose on this channel is to inspire others to live their best life and do things that make them happy. And everything that I share on my channel makes me happy. I love self-development, I love self-care, I love talking about books and cleaning and organizing your home. These are just things that I love and I want to share with you guys. So that's why I make the videos that I do. And this book just made me more motivated to be my creative self and to just get it done now. Don't wait till tomorrow or next week to start a project. Start now if you're in the mood. On the back of this book it says, whether we are looking to write a book, make art, find new ways to address challenges in our work, embark on a dream long deferred, or simply infuse our everyday lives with more mindfulness and passion, Big Magic cracks open a world of wonder and joy. So I would really recommend reading Big Magic. It does have certain sections where you're like, oh, come on already, get to the point. Like, it's a lot of stories, but it did teach me to be creative and be myself, and I just found it a really interesting read that did inspire and motivate me. So I'd really recommend Big Magic. Right, so the next book is called Treasure Yourself by Miranda Kerr, and this book I read so many years ago, probably 7 years ago. I just loved Miranda Kerr because I saw her in the Victoria's Secret fashion shows and I saw her interviews, and I just thought she was a lovely person, and I got her book and it inspired me so much, and it just made me feel good. After reading it, it just made me feel good. It made me look after myself more and just be more conscious of my health and wellness. And on the back it says, sometimes challenges and struggles are exactly what we need in our lives. May you welcome every effort, every struggle, and every challenge. May you open your wings and fly. And basically, Miranda Kerr in this book, she shares her childhood and her journey through modeling and her career and everything. And she shares just a little bit of inspiration to kind of be the best version of you and do the things that make you happy, and she talks about health and fitness, and yeah, it just really motivated me, and it's a book that I've read multiple times. And in the back it has these beautiful positive affirmations. So when I've talked about affirmations on my channel, she actually has another book which is just filled with those affirmations, and those are the affirmations that I really like to revert back to on a daily basis just to inspire me for the day. I love them. So yeah, I would really recommend Treasure Yourself by Miranda Kerr. It's really great for young women out there that just would like that little bit of inspiration in their lives. And something I loved about this book, she has these little illustrations of flowers in her book, and each illustration is a different flower. She says, women are like flowers, we're all unique in our own ways, and we're all beautiful in different ways as well. So I just loved those illustrations of the flowers and how they represented her friends and family. I thought that was beautiful. So yeah, I'd really recommend Treasure Yourself if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration. It's a nice, quick, and easy read, but very helpful at the same time. Right, so the last and final book that I really wanted to share with you, and that has really inspired me, especially this year. I actually got this book this year My mom got me this book for my birthday, and she obviously knows me so well because it is Kate Hudson's Pretty Happy. So I was so happy when my mom got me this book because, yeah, I knew about Kate Hudson, but I didn't know about this book. And something that I love about this book is it's got beautiful pictures throughout the book of Kate Hudson. And the things that she talks about in this book is really lovely. She goes through different pillars. Pillar 1 being to cultivate a relationship with your body. So knowing what body type you are and what to focus on when you're like working out and stuff. Pillar 2 is to eat well. So she talks about nutrition. Pillar 3, awaken your body. And that talks a lot about movement. She talks about yoga and her exercises that she does. And then pillar 4, she talks about the miracle of mindfulness. And if you guys saw my first video on YouTube, it was all about mindfulness. So I really loved this book. I loved flipping through it and doing some of the exercises that she says to do in here. She's got some mindfulness exercises, and there's just some really great information in here, as well as some beautiful pictures to inspire you. So if you want to get motivated in terms of health and wellness, I'd really recommend this book. It's beautiful and it's got a lot of great information in this book. So I would recommend Pretty Happy by Kate Hudson. Okay everyone, so that's it for today's Motivational Monday video. Today's Motivational Monday video was all about reading, and I just wanted to motivate you to go pick up a book that inspires you. And I just find that with reading, I can learn so much from reading. I can learn different ways to improve my life and all different things that can help motivate others and motivate me. So yeah, so I wanted to start sharing with you books on my channel and books that I would recommend for you guys to read. So I hope you all have a beautiful day and that you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!